About 1.5 years ago, I burned out. And even though at the time my biggest goal was scaling my agency, which booked a lot of success, I started to feel more and more empty and unfulfilled on the inside. And I didn't really understand why. So I started investing a lot of my time and energy into self-reflection, self-development. I started to do meditations. I started to do more and more journaling. But one of the things that has actually helped me the most is having the ability to chat with my own AI coach. And you might be wondering, what is an AI coach? Well, that is what I'm going to explain to you in this video. I will go into the exact process that I've used myself, so hopefully you can start implementing this into your life as well. So let's dive into the video. Here is a FigJam file where I have listed down the 6 steps to basically build your own AI coaching system. And you can do this with the tools available for free, even for free online. I personally use ChatGPT in this example and in this demonstration, but you can use whatever AI tool you want to use. So we will be walking through these 6 steps, and for every step I will explain how it works. I will also share my personal example and give some tips. So it starts with defining your objective. So if you need help in life, if you want to fix something, you of course need clarity on what that is. So begin with a feeling, pattern or behavior in your life that doesn't feel good or aligned. For me, this was the case that I just introduced in the introduction of this video. Even though my business was going up, which was my biggest goal, I started to feel more empty on the inside. And that on itself is already interesting to start chatting with AI. So I could share this problem and already get some general advice. But that mostly will be just surface level general advice that you can also go to other people for. Because the AI doesn't really understand your specific situation and your personal context. And that is when we move on to step 2. So now that I've defined my objective, I will provide the AI with the right personal context. And personal context can vary based on what your objective is. So in my case, I started sharing the example data here, which is really good information to share, not only for the problem that I mentioned, but just in general. And why is that the case? Well, step 2 is all about sharing helpful background information. It can be personality test results, journal notes, CVs, life experiences. And then you might be wondering, well, is it really a smart idea to share all this sensitive information with an AI? But you don't have to go really deep on sharing sensitive information. And one of the best examples here is MBTI, or so-called 16 personalities. It's basically a test you can do online for free. You get some multiple choice questions, and afterwards you get this profile. And this profile is basically, there are some accesses. So extraversion, introversion, intuitive, observant. Are you more thinking or feeling person? Judging, prospecting, assertive or turbulent. And after doing the test, you get insights in your profile. And that in itself is already interesting because this test is built upon the theories of Carl Jung, like most of the personality tests. And online, there's so much information available about this test that you can really learn a lot. And on the 16 personalities version that you can do for free, there's already a lot of valuable information. So I highly recommend you to check out this test. You can learn things about your career path, your strengths, your weaknesses. So very interesting. But it gets even more exciting when you share these results with an AI, because then you can start asking personalized questions. And this 16 personalities website is just limited to the information available on this website. But since this test is so well known, a lot of people are talking online about what it meant to them and start communicating on things like Reddit and sharing their experience as a specific personality type. So that is interesting because all that information is used by the AI. So for example, by ChatGPT, which is trained on the whole internet, all those experience and behaviors and things are basically stored somewhere in the memory and in the knowledge of this model. So it's really good at using this information to help you with things. And this on itself, we can already start using this in a very simple way. For example, I can just make a screenshot of my chart. And I have the accesses here. I open a new chat, I paste in this image, and I start asking, what does this mean for me? So now I share the accesses, so the AI is having the ability to check my exact profile, and then explain what this actually means for me. So here you see it lists the core traits. So this is basically the data and what this means for my career, for my work. So creative, dynamic, people-centered, all very interesting and all really resonating. So that is already interesting. So one of the things that I could be doing is basically in the same chat already starting to chat about the objective that I've set. So now I can chat about this objective, and the AI better understands what kind of personality I have. So it might already give some personalized advice based on the MBTI test. But there's another thing that I want to share to go even a step further, and that is human design. So human design, I find it quite hard to explain. So I basically created this prompt asking to explain it in a simple way. It's basically like a blueprint, and it's of how you think, make decisions, and use your energy. And it combines ideas from astrology, chakras, Qing, and other ancient systems in combination with modern science like genetics. So highly advanced, highly complex theories combined into one framework called human design. And this is my human design chart, which you can also get for free online. There are many tools out there, so I won't be showing that in this video, but you can get your chart. Interesting thing about this chart is that it's very complex to read. All those numbers, all those things are meaning something, but I really have no idea. I mean, what is a manifesting generator? What does it mean to have a not self team of frustration? And here it lists emotional, and I maybe can interpret what emotional means, but what does it actually mean on a deeper level in this test? I have no idea. And that is where AI is really interesting, to start helping you explaining what this is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a screenshot again, and now I'm going to use that screenshot in the same chat as where I shared the personality test results. And then I'm going to write a prompt asking it to synthesize information. And that is when we start moving into step number 3. So I will basically ask it to find patterns between MBTI, so that was the personality test, and human design. So now what we're doing is we're basically providing the AI with personal context and synthesizing information about these different sources into something that it can work with. We let it reflect back on patterns, behaviors, or dynamics. And for this example, I will just show MBTI and human design. What I did myself was also actually shared my lifeline, which is even more personal information. That is something that I won't be demonstrating for now, but if you are excited about testing this out, you can of course do it. A lifeline basically is a timeline where you list a lot of highs and lows in your life. And I personally also added pictures to make it even more personal. And I basically described the events in the timeline. And I also listed down what feelings it gave me, what emotions I got from it. So an example is one of my highlights was actually winning a hackathon. This was the first time that I was leading a team, working out of the box, do creative thinking. And basically it made me see that I can achieve a lot. And it was a really a big highlight. And it also led to me starting my own company. So that was a very important moment of my life. So that's just one example. And I created like 10, 20 of these events. And that is what I also shared with the AI. And not only the good things, so not only the highlights, but also the down points in my life and how that made me feel. So that's the information that you can share. These are just some examples, but you can of course brainstorm for yourself what is relevant for this specific challenge that you struggle with. Find the relevant information and share it. Because what I did now is I shared the information, so MBTI and human design, and now it basically concluded your big pattern. You are creative, energetic soul, desire to inspire, solve, and move fast, but you need to trust your emotional clarity. So both in human design and MBTI, that's a recurring topic. Protect your personal space and stay connected to your inner vision to avoid burning out or getting frustrated. So that's already interesting information. So a lot of what I'm reading here is what I'm really resonating with. So I need change, I need different things, more people work. And basically, this is all not really in line with how I was operating. So it's quite interesting. So now let's take this example and the example that I also used myself back then and share this struggle with the AI now in a chat where it has all the personal context. I hear you, it's powerful. So what's happening under the surface? From your human design, it's very clear. You are not meant to build just something just for success. You are here to feel alive, excited, and purpose-driven. And as you can read, it's really important to do purposeful work, deep emotional satisfaction, creative freedom, helping others to transform. And those were all things that I didn't work on in that period because I was doing a lot of technical, detailed work myself, and I wasn't focusing on these things that I'm naturally wired for. And that actually was the struggle. But all this information, I could have never gone so deep without sharing this personal context. It's really hard to do that with just writing the right prompts. So that's step 1, 2, and 3. We define the objective, my struggle. We added personal context to share the AI the right information to better understand me and my specific situation. And then we let it synthesize to find patterns, behaviors, or dynamics. And now it's time to start asking the deeper questions. And then we can really start exploring what's behind the struggle, belief, habits, emotions, or past experience. And in my case, because I also added the lifeline, it was basically able to also reflect on my childhood and see things that I did as a child that really got me excited. So it started seeing patterns in my love for gaming, fantasy worlds, and building online communities. And then it also showed me that recently I was more chasing familiar patterns of mastery and external validation. So I was just focusing on technical output to deliver and scale without actually being that excited kid from my lifeline that was connecting with others and doing way more creative things. That was basically what I lost. And then I could start chatting deeper and deeper on that. And that just gave me a lot of insights. And that is the next step. So gaining the insights from the chat. So now that you have all the context, the AI understands who you are, and you can start asking the deeper questions. Start asking the questions that can help you. Notice what resonates. Insights often feel like something you've known deep down, but never say it out loud. And examples of this is I started chatting about how I could better run my business by outsourcing things, and it also recommended me what to outsource. It recommended me to focus more on vision and strategy work instead of working on the technical details. And it also recommended me to really celebrate my wins, because it also noticed the pattern of continuously chasing like the next big goal, the next big thing, without really being grateful for a win. So that's something that it also taught me. Those are just some of the insights. And then the final step is basically save these insights. So most importantly in your head. And it helps by writing it down and reflecting on it. And that's also what I did. So I let the AI create a custom journal template. So that's something that I can also show here. Create a journal template to reflect on this. So yeah, now let's read back. My biggest goal. Yeah, interesting. So okay, we got all the insights. Now we create a journal template to reflect on this. And now I'm getting hyper-personalized questions based on all the context within this chat. So it's talking about emotional landscape. It's talking about activities, moments. Where in my work do I feel most alive? Because that was actually the struggle that I mentioned. Deep craving. So all things that can help me basically prevent from falling into the trap again of feeling unfulfilled. And yeah, besides that, you can also say create custom affirmations that are in line with who I naturally am. So based on the personality test on the human design, we let it create affirmations. I honor my energy by creating freely and passionately. My excitement is a compass. I'm designed to move quickly, playfully, with purpose. So those are all really resonating with me because they are in line with the design and with the test. So these are just some of the examples that you can do. And you can basically get insights from the chat, start reflecting on it by creating personalized journal templates, and make custom affirmations that will help you to basically fix the problem that will help you get to the objective and why you even started this. So I've talked a lot. Those were the 6 steps. And the reason why I made this video is that this has helped me so much in my life that I really feel like I should try to help people with it as well. It really gets me excited of seeing what technology can be used for. Yeah, I hope this can also help you within your life. And what I also wanted to share is that if this video resonated with you, then there's a huge opportunity here because I am starting a new platform called Innersights. And Innersights will basically be an app where you can follow this process within a structured environment. So Innersights will be an AI coaching app where we have specific modules that can help you get the right questions, and it also will recommend you on what kind of things you should think about and what information you can share to let the AI better assist you. And of course, you can decide yourself how far you want to go, how sensitive and personal you want to make it. You can also just use it like on a surface level to gain a better understanding. But yeah, it's basically your own decision, of course. And you don't have to check Innersights because, as I just showed, you can also do this with OpenAI and it works quite well. Or you can use Claude or whatever AI tool that you want to use. It works pretty well, but there are also some issues. For example, within every new chat, you have to share all these PDF documents and it's so much information. Maybe some of the information is something that you don't want to use in a chat. And also the AI sometimes makes a mistake because there's a lot of context in there and starts, for example, to hallucinate. Overall, we are trying to solve all these problems by really building a product where there's a structured environment for writing down your thoughts, your ideas, patterns, behaviors, and have an AI reflect on it and ask you the deeper questions to, basically create a digital version of yourself. And if that is something that is resonating with you, I highly recommend you to check out the link in the description because we are currently building the beta version, which is almost ready. And the first users that will join the waitlist will get free access and also the ability to connect with the team, with me, as well as everyone that's involved in creating Innersights. And then you can hopefully learn from us, and hopefully we can also learn from you to basically use AI as our personal assistant. So if that's something that you're interested in, check the link out below. And for now, I want to thank you so much for staying till the end of this video. That means a lot to me, and hopefully we will connect in the future. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.